Welcome back to the deep dive. As always, we take the complex source material you need to understand and, while we do the heavy lifting, giving you that clear analysis so you're informed fast.
And today we're doing a really important technical breakdown. We're looking closely at the latest video from Konstantin Rozhkov. You might know him as Real Reporter, specifically his interview ex-Russian assault trooper on When the War Ends.
Yeah, and this isn't just about reviewing a video, is it? We're really using this as a case study to expose the mechanics of a very polished psychological operation, a PsyOp. The source material confirms Rozhkov's back on YouTube, which is deceptive in itself, given he's a sanctioned former state propagandist who somehow tricked the platform again.
Exactly. Our mission here is purely analytical. We're going to methodically unpack the narratives in this video and crucially connect them to the documented financial trails, the operational links that tie him directly to the Russian state.
And the fact he's even on the platform is maybe the biggest part of the story here.
It absolutely is. Look, the core context, drawing from our previous work on him, is key. We've shown Rozhkov's ties to RT, he's sanctioned, and there's clear evidence of content laundering. So the scandal isn't just what he's saying, but that he's saying it on YouTube at all. A sanctioned Kremlin figure bypassed the bans, set up shop again, and is pushing these narratives out.
And the video itself looks professional. It features this guy, Maxim, supposedly a former Russian assault unit commander, now an instructor. The whole tone is very calm, factual, all about tactics, gear. It feels genuine.
Which is precisely the point. That's where the deception really kicks in.
Right.
So the foundation of this whole operation is the disguise. Rozhkov pitches himself as this independent guy, devastated when his old channel got banned. It had over 330,000 subscribers. He frames it like he's a victim of big tech censorship.
Okay, wait, so he's leaning into that narrative, playing the free speech martyr to build trust?
Yeah.
That's clever, actually. But why shouldn't we just take his word for it? How do we know he's not independent?
Because the source material gives us the financial smoking gun. Despite claiming he quit RT years back to build his own independent business, the tax records we have show he kept getting paid substantial amounts directly from NOTV Novosti.
NOTV Novosti, that's the legal entity for RT.
Right, that's the one. The legal body behind Russia Today. And we're not talking about some final payout.
Right, so this is ongoing. How long did the sources show the payments went on?
The data shows payments continuing until at least the end of 2024. And this completely dismantles his story. I mean, look at the figures for 2023 alone. Over 8 million rubles from RT.
8 million rubles
Yeah.
in 1 year. That's not struggling independent journalist money. That's a significant operational budget coming from a sanctioned state broadcaster.
It's a very high salary, yes. It shows continuous financial dependence. And the timing you mentioned earlier, that's also critical.
When the new channel was set up.
Exactly. The new Real Reporter channel was registered in Kazakhstan, March 2022. Just 1 month after the full-scale invasion started and RT got banned across Western platforms.
Kazakhstan. So, using a third country to bypass the sanctions.
It's a classic content laundering tactic, masking state-funded material through a seemingly neutral, independent front. And the production value isn't an accident either.
The AI dubbing.
Yes. He uses AI to translate the Russian interviews into very professional-sounding English. It makes the package slick, easily digestible for Western audiences. It's designed for export. Okay, so once you understand the financial reality, the interview with Maxim, the instructor, clicks into place. It's structured to bypass your critical thinking using emotional appeals. It works to humanize the forces involved in the invasion.
So the main technique is shifting the focus, using what you called emotional camouflage.
Precisely. The narrative subtly moves your attention away from the victims of the invasion, the Ukrainians, and focuses instead on these small, relatable human details about the soldiers carrying out the invasion.
Like the details Maxim gives.
Exactly. He talks about soldiers needing little wooden planks to cross muddy trenches, keep their feet dry, or how first aid kits now need antibiotics because evacuation times have ballooned from maybe an hour, the golden hour, to sometimes a week. These details create a sense of shared hardship, almost universal soldier experiences.
I remember the story about Tatar, the mechanic. Father of 5, apparently never sent into assaults because he was too valuable keeping vehicles running. They even took his weapon away.
Right. That anecdote serves a purpose. It paints the commanders as reasonable, as valuing specific skills, maybe even life. It softens the image of the military force conducting the attack. It's about creating a moral veneer.
And that feeds into trying to make things seem normal back home.
Directly into the normalization narrative, yes. Maxim insists salaries in Russia aren't bad. You can easily make over $1,000 a month in cities like Yekaterinburg. The message is, the economy's stable, Life goes on. Sanctions aren't really biting.
And then the other big claims. Sanctions don't work, and Russia's barely trying. The minimal effort myth.
That's a key deflection. Maxim claims Russia is using just the bare minimum of its resources. He suggests a tiny increase in effort, like 5%, could dramatically shift the front line. This portrays the invading force as holding back immense power, suggesting international pressure is ineffective.
Makes them sound overwhelmingly strong, just restrained.
And finally, there's the push towards the proxy war narrative. Maxim predicts a very long conflict, maybe to 2027, even 2030. He talks about too much blood spilled. He'll concede Ukraine's specialists are good, NATO-trained, but claims their overall infantry quality is down due to forced mobilization.
So framing it as Russia versus NATO, with Ukraine just caught in the middle.
Essentially, yeah. It diminishes Ukraine's agency, recasting the invasion as a great power struggle, not an attack on a sovereign neighbor.
Okay, we've seen the techniques, the camouflage. Let's step back now and just quietly state the basic facts. The reality, this propaganda works so hard to obscure.
We have to be absolutely clear on the fundamental context. Maxim, the soldier being interviewed, is part of a military force engaged in an unprovoked invasion of a neighboring country, Ukraine. Russia initiated this conflict. Russia is the aggressor.
So reinforcement number one. While Maxim gives us this detailed view of soldier life, he commanded an assault unit, storming trenches. That makes him a direct participant in Russia's invasion. We hear the details, but we must remember the context. Russia is the state launching the attack.
Reinforcement 2. The idea of patriotism as a driver. It's been replaced by money. Maxim himself confirms this in the source material. Ideological motivation has waned since 2022. The recruits joining now in 2025 are primarily there for the paycheck. Money, not belief, is the core motivator for these soldiers.
Which leads to the third point, right? If it's about money.
Then reinforcement 3 is this. Based on Maxim's own account, many Russian soldiers are effectively acting as mercenaries, or people trying to escape legal troubles. He states explicitly, people sign contracts for the huge state payout up to $37,000 just for signing on.
Why? What do you say they use it for?
To pay off debts, mortgages, solve financial crises, or significantly to get investigations dropped, court cases halted for things like assault, theft. They are fighting to clear debts and avoid prison, not out of national booty. The source makes it clear they function largely as state-backed mercenaries. Now, if we take Maxim's own statements, the details he provides, and hold them up against the bigger picture, the official narrative starts to fray. The propaganda contradicts itself.
Okay, like the minimal effort myth. Maxim says Russia's using the bare minimum of its resources.
Yeah.
But then, why did he need to be part of that disastrous operation in the Kharkiv region? The breakout from Izium. He himself admits it ended up badly for the regular Russian army.
Exactly. You can't claim minimal effort while describing participation in a major failed offensive that required significant resources and ended poorly. The reality of military setbacks directly contradicts the claim of effortless power being held in reserve.
And the stable economy myth. He says salaries are good, plenty of work available.
Yet, in the same breath, he explains the main reason men are signing up for dangerous assault roles in 2025 is financial desperation. They need the signing bonus to pay off loans or even to dodge criminal charges.
So the economy can't be both stable with easy jobs and so bad that joining the army to risk death is the best financial option, or a way out of jail.
Precisely. The recruitment motive he describes completely undermines the claim of a stable, functioning economy. It points to significant underlying stress.
Okay, and the timeline thing. He predicts the war lasts until 2030, but also says Russia is building a sword and shield for 50 years of peace.
That's the duration paradox. If sanctions don't work, the economy's fine, and Russia holds overwhelming power, why does he foresee such a protracted conflict? And why the specific mention of needing to rely on old Cold War tech?
You mean the TA-57 field phone?
Yes, that detail about the TA-57 field phone being vital is telling. It's a non-jammable but incredibly cumbersome analog system from the 1950s.
So relying on that doesn't exactly scream technological superiority, does it?
Not at all. It suggests they're struggling against modern electronic warfare, against jamming. It points towards grappling with technological inferiority in communications, which again contradicts the whole narrative of effortless resource dominance.
So let's bring this all together. What does this mean for you listening to this, navigating the information space? This breakdown shows a very deliberate, systemic deception. Rozhkov, while pocketing that huge RT salary, remember, over 8 million rubles through 2024, keeps presenting himself as some independent voice.
And he's using professional tools, AI dubbing, slick production to inject these Kremlin-approved narratives, these sanctioned talking points, directly into the West.
He fooled YouTube once. He got banned. And now he's back, using loopholes, likely jurisdictional ones with a Kazakhstan registration, all while maintaining that financial pipeline to RT.
It's textbook content laundering, a core tactic for how the state launching this invasion wages its information war.
And the content itself uses that emotional language, the relatable soldier, the family man, specifically to normalize Russia's role as the aggressor state. This isn't journalism. It's a funded state operation.
Which brings us to the real danger, which is systemic. When platforms like YouTube, like Google, appear to ignore concrete financial evidence, actual tax data showing payments from a sanctioned entity like RT, they're doing more than just failing at content moderation.
They become distributors, right? Unwittingly or not.
They risk becoming conduits for foreign state propaganda. This isn't just about bad content slipping through. It points to a potential security breach in the integrity of the information ecosystem itself.
So it's absolutely crucial then to look past the surface details, past the emotional pull of the stories about booths and radios and families. You have to see the financial engine, the strategic goal driving the content.
Because this material is specifically crafted to leverage your own skepticism, maybe your distrust of traditional media, and substitute a manufactured state-funded viewpoint for actual facts.
Which leaves us with a pretty challenging final thought.
Indeed. In a situation where we see state actors who are officially sanctioned, apparently using confirmed salary payments routed through state media entities to fund supposedly independent channels that manage to bypass platform bans. Well, how far does a platform's responsibility really go? Does it stop at just reviewing the content? Or should it extend to actively investigating the financial origins of channels engaging so directly in geopolitical influence operations? That question really is about the future integrity of the platforms we all rely on.